6 schizophrenic relief tips. Hey, I'm Shadrach Beniboo back with another YouTube video, and today I'm here to give you all 6 schizophrenic relief tips. But before we get started on today's video, I need you all to make sure to hit that thumbs up button as hard as you can so that I can come up with more YouTube videos for you all very soon. And as always, if this is your first time tuning into the Shadrach Beniboo vlogs, make sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on that post notification bell on your screen so that way you'll get notified every time I upload. So let's talk about schizophrenia. So schizophrenia is a mental disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. Some of the symptoms that you'll see in a person with schizophrenia is that they tend to hallucinate some of the things that are going on, and it involves either hearing or seeing things that don't really exist. And just like what I probably mentioned in my autism awareness video, communication can also be a weakness to those who are schizophrenic, meaning that when a normal person asks a person with schizophrenia about, let's say, how their day went, and they come up with an extremely different response that does not relate to the question. That's one of the symptoms that you'll see in a person with schizophrenia. So I have a friend who is schizophrenic, and some of the challenges that he's told me he's gone through were having disorganized speech, issues adapting to the real world, and having a lot of psychotic occasions as well. And there are a lot more symptoms of schizophrenia that you can look up in your own time. So today in this video, I'm going to be giving you all 6 ways on how to relieve your issues with schizophrenia. And without further ado, you guys, let us get started. So tip number 1 is to get involved in treatment and self-help. And the earlier that you are diagnosed with schizophrenia and start having treatment with an experienced mental health professional, you'll have better chances of getting and staying well. So if you suspect yourself or a loved one displaying the symptoms of schizophrenia, make sure to seek help right away. It's also important to educate yourself and know everything there is about the disability. So make sure to communicate with your doctors, therapists, build a strong support system, take self-help measures, and make sure to always stick to your treatment plan as well. Tip number 2 is to get more active, and as well as providing all of the emotional and physical benefits, regular exercise is another great way to help manage some of the symptoms of schizophrenia. Unless you're experiencing a psychotic episode, then physical activity is another great way to manage your symptoms of schizophrenia, and it can also help you improve your focus, lower the amount of stress that you have in you, give you more energy, more sleep, and it'll also make you feel more relaxed as well. And physical activity doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go to a gym, but find a physical activity that you enjoy doing and try to do it for at least 30 minutes each day. And if you want to make it more easier for yourself, then doing 3 10-minute sessions of physical activity can also be a great way to get more active and relieve the symptoms of schizophrenia as well. Tip number 3 is to seek face-to-face support, and connecting with others face-to-face is another great way to relax your nervous system and relieve the amount of stress that you have in you. And because stress can trigger psychosis and make the symptoms of schizophrenia extremely worse, keeping it under control is extremely important. So make sure to find somebody in your life that you can connect with face-to-face on a day-to-day basis without somebody else having to judge, criticize, or distract you from doing what you have to do for yourself. Tip number 4 is to stay in control of your stress. And day-to-day stress of living with a challenged emotional disorder such as schizophrenia can be extremely hard. And high levels of stress and anxiety can really limit your ability to be more relaxed. As far as having to be more physically and mentally active and staying socially connected, there are more steps to reduce your levels of stress. Knowing your limits is one of them, so make sure to balance everything out between school, work, and at home as well. And you don't necessarily have to take more time than you can to handle and take care of yourself if ever you're feeling overwhelmed. Using relaxation techniques are some other great ways to relieve your stress. And relaxation techniques such as meditating and deep breathing are some great ways to relieve some of the stress and anxiety that you have in you. And another great way to relieve the amount of stress that you have in you is to get help from a therapist or get help from somebody that you love and trust the most. Managing your emotions is another important way to relieve your stress, and understanding and accepting feelings, especially to those who really don't care, can really make a huge difference in your ability to manage your stress, balance your moods, and most importantly, keep you in control of your own life. Tip number 5 is to take really good care of yourself, and it doesn't necessarily mean that when you're schizophrenic you're not really on your own when it comes to having to relieve your symptoms. So some self-care tips that I would suggest is getting as much sleep as possible. So when you're on medication, it's really important that you get at least 8 or more hours of sleep, because a lot of people with schizophrenia have difficulty sleeping. But getting a lot of exercise, reducing the amount of sugar in your diet, and avoiding caffeine are some great ways to take really good care of yourself. Avoiding drugs and drinking alcohol are some other great ways to take really good care of yourself. And keep in mind, you guys, it can be hard for a person to get out of having to be addicted to drugs and having a drinking problem as well, especially for a person who is schizophrenic as well. So if you or a loved one with schizophrenia are experiencing some of these issues that I just mentioned here in this video, make sure to seek help right away. Eating healthy and maintaining a balanced diet are some other great ways to help take really good care of yourself, and eating regular nutritious meals can help avoid psychosis and other schizophrenic symptoms that are brought on by substantial changes that are made in your blood sugar levels. So eating less carbs and sugar can be some great ways for you to eat healthy and maintain a balanced diet. Boosting your intake of omega-3 fatty acids from fatty fish oil, walnuts, and flax seeds are some great ways for you to eat a healthy and balanced diet, and it'll also help you improve your focus, your banish fatigue, and it can also help you balance your moods as well. And the last thing to do is to make sure that you fully understand the role of having to be on medication. And keep in mind, you guys, medication is not really the best cure for schizophrenia, and it doesn't really cure all of its symptoms in one go. Antipsychotic medication can reduce some of the psychotic symptoms such as hallucination, delusions, paranoia, and disordered thinking. However, it doesn't really treat other symptoms of schizophrenia such as social withdrawal, the lack of motivation, emotional expressiveness, and you don't really necessarily have to put up with these disabling side effects. And if ever you're bothered by having to put up with these types of disabling side effects, make sure to talk to your doctor so that way you won't be overwhelmed by all of it on a day-to-day basis. So what do you guys think of this video that I put out for you? Make sure to put in your comments and your questions down below in the comment section, and I hope you all found this extremely helpful, and hopefully I have answered some of your guys' questions on ways that you can relieve your issues with schizophrenia as well. And that'll basically wrap up today's video for you guys, so make sure to stay tuned for some more videos that I will have posted here in my channel very, very soon.